Like you, Book One is all about the books that I read for the last 40 years. And today I have my special guest. She's a BCBA and a parent coach teaching families emotional flexibility through story and science. And of course, a children's author and the author of the book is Proudy and the Broken Stick, none other than Miss Brooke Barrett.
Hello.
Welcome, Miss Brooke, on Book 101 Review. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I miss?
Yeah, I think you got a good amount there. Yeah, my name is Brooke Barrett. I am a children's book author as well as a board certified behavior analyst and parent coach. And so, yeah, my goal and desire is to just support families in understanding emotions, understanding their context of maybe where it's coming from, so that they can move forward. In a way that aligns with the type of person and the type of family that they want to be. And so this is my first book of my series, and it kind of helps walk families through about how to make space for big feelings.
Yes, and thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Miss Brooke. Thank you. Hoping for more and more empowering books like this to So, Miss Brooks, Proudy and the Broken Stick tells the story of a little mushroom who feels broken and useless after losing a part of himself. Where did the story come from? Was there a moment in your own life or someone you love that planted the seed of a sprouty journeys?
Yes, definitely. So I'm a mother. I have two young children. And so all of these stories are kind of come from lived experiences that I've had with my children. I wanted to make the stories relatable so that when families read it, they could think like, "Oh, that's happened to me," or "I felt that way before." And so, yeah, they kind of come from experience that I've experienced with my own children. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of make those stories relatable for others. Yeah.
Interesting, Miss Brooke. You've described yourself as a wife and a mom from Nebraska who turned a passion of storytelling into a mission to help children. When did you first realize that children's book could be more than just entertainment, that it could actually heal?
Yeah. Part of my education comes from looking at language, right? And so the way that we talk about things really matters. The way that we relate to our world and relate to our feelings can uh, shape the way that we view ourselves and our identities. And so, if you're a child and you have big feelings, and as a parent, that can be really hard sometimes to support, right? We either want to like fix the feelings or make them feel better, right? Because we don't want them to be sad or frustrated or upset. But language, we can support kids and ourselves in becoming flexible with our emotions, and understanding like it's okay to feel upset, right? That was your favorite stick. You found that while you were walking, right? It's okay to be sad. And so that kids don't associate themselves with like, I'm feeling frustrated, so I'm a frustrated kid, right? So, like, the language can shape their identity, right? And I want for my children to know that it's okay to feel upset. It's okay to feel frustrated sometimes. And when we give kids the language, I accept my feelings as they are. And we use that in a book and in a story. Then together as a family, we can truly relate and understand that we can accept our feelings and still move towards, um, you know, right? Like you can be mad and you can be frustrated, and we can let that be, right? And then we can move forward together as a family. So, yeah, language is just really important to me, and stories make things relatable for kids and for parents. It gives us kind of something to talk about and relate to, so then that we can relate to our experiences in the real world and use examples from the book.
Very well said, Miss Brooke. Very well said indeed. For those who have not read it, can you introduce us to Sprouty? Who is this little mushroom and what is
Mm,
happening in this world when the story begins? Without
yes.
the spoilers.
Yeah, without the spoilers, you're right. So Sprouty is a little oakling seed, and so the series is called The Oaklings in Action. And so Sprouty has mom oakling and dad oakling, Sprouty oakling, and then a sister bloom oakling. And so Sprouty is a very curious little guy. He loves to investigate the world around him. He loves figuring out how things work. He is very imaginative. And he also is a big feeler, right? He he senses his emotions, right? He feels things very deeply, and he's kind of learning how to navigate that as a little sprout. And so he and his family are out on an adventure, and him and his sister are playing with their favorite walking sticks, and Sprouty's breaks. And so he has to deal with this frustration and anger and sadness. And his family supports him along the way in turning towards the Oakling's first inner skill, which is I accept my feelings as they are. And so the family supports him in learning how to accept his feelings, feel them in his body, and then they work through strategies of how to um, allow those feelings to be there.
Very well said. Again, Miss Brooke, Sprouty loses a part of himself. His stick breaks and feels useless. That's a powerful metaphor. Why did you choose mushroom and stick to tell this story? And what those images capture the human characters might not?
Mm. Well, I think a sprout, I think if the sprout can be relatable because we're all learning and growing. And I see him and his little sprout coming from his head. And it's just kind of like a metaphor that we're all learning and growing all the time. And his visuals are very much so. Uh, I want to bring his emotions to life. And so you'll see him be sad, you'll see him be frustrated, you'll see him calm down. And I really wanted to bring those to life so that people could relate to him.
Sprouty encounters other characters along his journey who help him see himself differently without
Mm.
giving away the whole story. Who are these helpers and what do they teach Sprouty about his own worth?
Yeah. Yeah, Sprouty's family. So each book is always involves the whole family. And so the mom and dad Oakling, and then his sister Bloom help him through feeling those feelings and feeling those emotions. Um, and they help him in a strategy um, to welcome the feelings in his body. And so I won't give it away, but there is a specific evidence process based strategy that supports him in the moment that then families can use after they've read the book.
Hmm, interesting, Ms. Burke. The book carries the message that our perceived flaws can become our greatest strength. How does Prouty Broken Stick ultimately become something beautiful? What does the
Hmm.
transformation teach young readers about their own struggles?
Yeah, that all feelings are okay. Right, like that, in life, there's gonna be situations and certain, contexts of your life that things are gonna happen that are gonna make you sad, and they're gonna make you angry, and they're gonna make you disappointed, and instead of pushing those feelings away, we can welcome them, we can say hello to them, we can bring them in, allow space for them to be there, and acknowledge that they exist, right? So that we're not growing up avoiding our feelings, and just truly being okay with those feelings, right? So we're teaching that flexibility, the emotional flexibility of being able to allow those to be there and accepting them. So yeah, I think then kids can kind of take that, you know. can take that with them.
It's okay not to be okay, people,
Mm,
even for kids. Tell
yeah.
them it's okay. The book is recommended for children ages 3 to 8. At that age, children are just beginning to understand themselves in relation to others. How do you talk a 3-year-old about feeling not enough without overwhelming them?
Mm, yeah, great question. Well, there is a difference between, right? Like you can have a verbal knowing and verbal language to say, I'm noticing that I'm feeling upset, right? I feel tight in my body, right? And then there's also something of an experiential knowing, right? So you're what how are you experiencing it in your body, and you're teaching children to experience it in their body through language, right? And so when you feel mad, you might feel really tight inside and it feels like you can't move, or you might feel like a volcano that's going to explode. You're giving kids language to be able to relate to what's happening inside of their body so that they can learn to be to kind of like sit with it and make space for it and let it be there without it um, without it taking over.
Mm. You called the book a gentle reminder to our differences make us unique and what we have the power to grow through our struggles. Why is it important to teach resilience so early? What happens when children don't learn
Mm.
this lesson until adulthood?
Yeah. Typically, there can be two things that happen. We can create um, our language will create stories, right? So our mind is here to protect us and to help us evolve, right? But if you're feeling sad, right? So you could have something or frustrated, right? So this happened to me. I'm feeling sad. Then I am sad. Then I'm a sad person, right? So that your mind can do that pretty quickly, right? It can also say in so that becomes a story, right? That becomes part of your identity. Instead of I'm noticing that I'm feeling sad, you're creating that space. And if you and then if you can't, another thing that people will do is then avoid the feeling, right? So they don't want to feel sad, they don't want to feel disappointed, because our culture sometimes makes we're getting better, but makes it seem like feeling sad or disappointed, that those are like bad things, those are negative emotions. And so when we perceive something to be negative, we don't want to deal with it. We want to push it away. We want to avoid. We want quick fixes to make us feel better. This book teaches us it's okay to feel that and we can sit with it. We don't have to avoid it. We don't have to create this story about who I am as a person because I feel sad that my favorite stick broke. It makes sense that my stick broke, and it's okay to feel sad, right? And so you're making space for it so that children and families can just like um emotions are a part of the human experience, right? And so we don't want people and children and families to think that those emotions are bad, right? Because then those create the stories of that I'm bad or I'm wrong or I'm not doing this right, right? um so that's really important to me to shift that and create flexibility and space, so that kids and families can know that it's part of the human experience to have emotions. And within the context of our lives as families, everything that we have going on all the time, things are going to come up and we're going to have to deal with them together. So let's deal with them in a way that align to the values of how we want to show up as parents and as kids, so that we can move forward in a way that feels aligned to our values and how we want to live.
Certainly.
Mhm.
Again, very well said. Ms. Brooke, the book also emphasizes embracing our unique qualities. In a culture that often pushes conformity in schools or playgrounds on screens, how do you help children hold on to makes them different?
Hmm. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that all children are uniquely themselves, and we have to be able to give them opportunities to be themselves. Yeah.
Certainly. The book illustrated by Miss Maria. Did I sounds correct? Pronounce
Nope,
it
that's
correct.
okay. It's Michelle Marion Moon. Yeah.
Michelle, Miss
Mhm.
Zadanova. If I'm not correct,
Yep.
correct. Whose
Yep.
artwork brings Proudest World to life. How did you find Michelle or Maria? What is your
Mm.
collaboration like? How did her illustration add dimensions to the story that words alone could not capture?
Yeah, so Michelle is actually my sister.
Okay.
And yeah, we're 13 months apart, very close. She's an artist, incredible artist. And so I was kind of talking with her, and she just does a really good job. And I just kind of asked her if she'd support me in this journey, and she was open and willing to it. And she just does a really good job at bringing to life like everything that I kind of imagine. So we go to coffee shops together, and we email back and forth. And yeah, it's been a really fun journey working with her.
I think you need to make more because you have a partner.
Yeah, yeah, we're already working on book 2. So
Okay.
the books, it'll be a series of 6 books, and so, this is the first one, and this whole thing stems from something called acceptance and commitment therapy, which is a process-based therapy, and inside the processes there's 6 skills that, family or that people can use, to increase their psychological flexibility. So that basically means when I'm presented with something that's hard, I can do these 6 processes to support myself in this hard moment, to be open and flexible, right? I'm aware of what's going on. I'm open to the emotions and thoughts that are happening, and I can engage in things that matter to me. And so all 6 of them are going to be a focus of the book. So this first one is all about acceptance, and that's one of the processes. And so I've made it, I accept my feelings as they are so that kids can relate to it. And then each book will relate to one of the processes.
Well, congratulations and
Mm.
looking forward for more
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
Ms. Brooke, so what are your short term and long term goals as an author?
Oh, wow. I would love to support families in supporting their emotional, mental health, well being, psychological flexibility in the home environment, and also potentially the school environment and support therapists. So, my books, I'm creating curriculums to go with them. And I hope to be able to have my books as like a foundation of teaching, um, and use my books and my curriculum just to support home environments, school environments. Yeah, to just give people this understanding of just being flexible with their thoughts and feelings so that they can live the life that truly matters to them.
Good luck. Good luck to your
Mm.
goals, Ms. Brooke, and looking forward for more success. And
Yeah.
before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, because my abstract essay is already in 6th season, abstract poetry in 3rd season, and of course my book 101 review in 6th season 2, a comedy 101 in 4th season, of course my food 101 in 6th season as well, geography 101, love letters, movie 101 review, music 101 our 5th season, science 101, sex 101 are in 4th season, and of course my baby podcast trivia 101, motivation 101, spiritual awakening 101, entrepreneurship 101, law 101, mental health 101, coaching 101, of course my Bible verses 101. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Brooke, if you could sit across from one child who's reading Sprouty and the Broken Stick
Mm.
tonight, a one child who feels broken, different, and not enough, and you should whisper
Mm.
one thing in their ear before they close
Mm.
the book, what would you want that child to hear?
Mm. It's a good question. I accept all of your feelings for all that they are.
Very well said.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Accept, accept, acceptance. Because sometimes kids is hard to accept. Learn to accept really is something good. So, Miss Brooke, can you please invite our listeners to support your children's book?
Yes, yes, I would love that. You can find my website at brookesuzannebarrett.com, and you can order through there, and then I will ship it to you. It's also available on Barnes and Noble and Amazon. So yes, anywhere you can find it. But my author's website is a great place to start.
Definitely. Yes, people, let's support Miss Brooke Susanne Barrett, because if you support her, for sure more and more empowering children's books will rise. I have one more question, Miss Brooke. Have you had a chance to reach Proudy and the Broken Stick to children in a classrooms, libraries, or family settings? What was the experience like?
Well, I just received the first proof, so it's very new. But I got to read it to my children, and it was incredible. Yeah, being able to read it, they watched me create it, they watched me make edits, they watched me work hard through it, and being able to read it to them was, yeah, an incredible
Phenomenal.
thing. Yeah.
Certainly. So please do come over again and again once you publish the second book. You are most welcome here on Book 101 Review, as well on Abstract Essay. I will invite you again on Abstract Essay, and let's talk about the writing process of Miss Proudy and the Broken Stick. Okay.
Awesome. Sounds great.
100% support you, and so keep doing of what you are good at. So, Miss Brooke, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Likewise, more to come, people. See you soon.
Okay, thank you.